Welcome to this video on complex number. This is Tutor Danny. So we're going to talk about complex numbers so that we understand what complex numbers are. We are also going to learn on how to add and subtract complex numbers. And lastly, we are going to know how to divide complex numbers. Let's start by defining what a complex number is. So the complex number is actually any number of the form a plus b I, where a is called the real part and b is called the imaginary part. Let's look at an example of complex number. Examples. So we have example 1. We have 2 plus 3i, and example 2 we have 5 minus 4i, and the third example we've got 9 minus 10i. So these are the examples of complex numbers. Let's go to the multiplication and to the subtraction and addition of complex numbers. So let's start with the addition. So complex numbers are just added just like polynomials, where you just group the like terms together. So let's give an example. So example, so example 1 we have 2 plus 3i minus 2 minus 5i. So here what you do, you're going to say 2 plus 3i. Then you're going to distribute this minus here into these numbers which are in brackets. You're going to say minus 2, then negative times negative, it will give you positive, which will be plus 5i. So you're going to say 2 minus 2 plus 3i plus 5i, and this will give you so here it will give you a 0, and here it will give you plus 3 plus 5 is 8, so you're going to have 8i. So in short, this answer will just be written like this. You won't write the 0, there is no need to write the 0 in front. So let's go to the next example, which will be example 2. So for example 2, so let's have 3 plus 6i in brackets, then plus 4i. So we are going to say 3 plus 6i, then plus 4i. So here you're going to say 3 plus 6i plus 4i will give you 10i. So that's the answer for this one. Let's go next to the subtraction. So the subtraction of complex numbers, this is done just like addition, where you have to group the like terms together. Which means you put the real parts alone and the imaginary parts alone. So that's how you subtract complex numbers. So let's give an example. So examples, so we have example 1. We are going to say 3 plus 4i minus, let's put a minus in here, minus, open bracket, 4 minus 5i. So here you also say 3 minus 4i minus 4 plus 5i. So you group the like terms together. You say 3 minus 4 minus 4i plus 5i. So here it will give you negative 1, then negative 4 plus 5, it will give you plus I. So this is the answer for this one here. So let's go to the division of complex numbers. So in order to divide complex numbers, you you have to multiply by the conjugate of the denominator to both the denominator and the numerator. So let's give an example now of a conjugate. So for example, if we have 3 plus 2i, so the conjugate will be is 3 minus 2i. So this is the conjugate of this number here. So let's give examples now on how to divide complex numbers. Examples. So example 1, 2 plus 3i divided by 3 minus 2i. So to divide this complex number here, you have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of this denominator. So the conjugate of the denominator will be 3 plus 2i divided by 3 plus 2i. So here you also have to consider the fact that when you have I squared, it's just the same as negative 1. I squared is equal to negative 1. So you're going to start with this one on top here. You multiply both. So start with these two here. 2 times this 3 here. You're going to have 2 times 3 to give you a 6 up here. Then the next you have 2 times 2i, which will be 4i plus 4i. Then the next one you have 3i times 3, you have 9i, which is plus 9i. The next one is 3i times 2i, which will give you 6i squared. 6i squared. You divide by, so you also do the same thing here. So 3 times 3 to give you 9. Then 3 times 2i, it will give you 6i plus 6i. Then you have negative 2i times 3, which will give you negative 6i. Then you have negative 2i times 2i, which will give you negative 4i squared. So when you add there at the numerator, you're going to have, let's simplify it first. You have 6 plus, so when you add this with i's here, you have 4i and 9i. So 9 plus 4, you are going to have 13. So 9 plus 4 is 13, so you say 13i. Then the next one, you are going to say plus 6. Then I squared, remember we said I squared is equal to negative 1, so there it is going to be negative 6. So minus 6. Then you also come down, say 9 minus 6, which will give you 3. 9 minus 6. Then you have these here, so when you subtract these two here, it will give you 0. So you won't even write it, there's no need to write it since it's just a 0. So you are going to have negative 4i squared, and remember I squared is negative 1, so it will be negative 4, then inside it will be negative 1. So this will be, so 6 minus 6 here to give you a 0, so you just remain with a 13 up here, I. Then down here you're going to have 3, then negative 4 times negative 1 here, so you have 3 plus 4. Then the final answer is going to be 13 divided by 3 plus 4, it will give you 7. So this is the final answer for this one. I hope you've understood how to multiply, add, subtract, and divide complex numbers. Watch out for the next video.